Work isn't defined by job descriptions. The workplace isn't a specific place, and many workers aren't traditional employees. Those who partner with workers and experiment with what's possible will create sustainable work models and superior outcomes, making work better for humans and humans better at work. Ladies and gentlemen, join the future workforce, our students, faculty, and alumni for a day of inspiration and networking. Help them build the skills they need to address the challenges, offer solutions, have positive impact on the world, develop the futuristic mindset, and share the vision.
We at PIBM truly value leadership and innovation. We wholeheartedly appreciate the dauntless individuals who have blazed trails for the young minds. PIBM, with utmost humility and honor, looks forward to hosting you as a guest for Pioneer Convergence 2023. It is a platform where we will witness this grand congregation of the colossus of the corporate world, HR leaders, to share their accomplishment stories and resounding ideas. A sculptor of creating leaders and a leader who has sculpted this esteemed institute, sir, is a personality who has come a long way with that never-to-die attitude and an undauntable spirit. Sir is a visionary who always viewed education as an avenue for creating employment and has spread his horizons with leadership both nationally and internationally. Sir's charisma and relentless endeavor has afforded PIBM to have an international recognition. With a huge round of applause, let us welcome our respected chairman, PIBM Group of Institutes, Ranpreet Sir, to deliver the welcome speech.
Thank you. How are you all? The lunch, energy is done. You're still there? Cannot feel that. Can you feel that yourself? उधर से आवाज नहीं आई. Can you feel that yourself? That is it. PIBM was. It's okay. So I'm just going to show you. So in the morning hours, so just give me a recap that we have spoken about the future workforce. Okay, so change, which is very, very important into everybody's life. And so this is a small snapshot I just want to show you that whatever things we are using right now, it wasn't there almost 20 years back. So suppose, for example, CD, and then I don't know whether you have used or not, but I have used. Okay, floppy drives was there. You recall, right? Floppy drives got changed to that time USB with a small configuration, and then it went to CD, and then pen drive, and then iCloud today. So almost iCloud is very old. So it's approximately 40 years old, but then adopted today. So even into the 1940s, when the Second World War was happening, the iCloud was there. Similarly, we used to write letters. How many you have letters to your father, to your mother, or to your friends? How many of you? 100% agree. With faculty, 100% they might have. But how many of you have written letter? हाथ में letter चिट्ठी लिख के भेजा. कितने लोग? How many? Very less. But how many have sent WhatsApp? Everybody. So see, it's a change. What I want to tell you, it's a change. Okay. How many of you have used this phone? Okay, which is a landline phone, old landline phone, almost all. Yeah, I agree. But then how many of you actually use those phones, and how many of you use cell phones today? Almost all, right? So from normal landline pager, I don't think so anybody has used pager. Have you used pager? No, but that old time the pager was there, first thing. Okay. So what I'm trying to say that everything changes. Okay. So technology changes, and it is very, very important to get changed. So similarly, it's from steam engine. I don't know how many of you have seen steam engine, but you might have heard about the hyperloops. Have you heard about the hyperloop? Yes. So today we are in the age of the hyperloop. Okay, from black and white TV, I don't think so. Anybody of you have seen black and white TV? So, but then it might be your father, your parents might have seen black and white TV. But today what we do? How many of you see TV? If you see TV, then you know how we are. But then 100% you see on the platform, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Yes. So can you understand the change? What has happened? Yes. So in this change era, how many of you every day goes to a bank for 5,000 rupees of cash? I don't know. That very less of you. Generally you go to ATM, bring a cash from ATM, or you have a lot of net banking, UPIs, where you transfer the money. So can you understand the speed of change? Yes. So the speed of change has brought what to you? Speed of change has brought work. It has brought workforce. It has brought workplace. Work means what is the kind of work you will do, which is very, very important for you. Whether you want to create your own company, that's a separate aspect altogether. And whether you want to go and join the company, to a second. If you want to join the company, what is that company is doing? How much money they're earning? What is the revenue model of that particular company? And what is the kind of skill set they require? Because they want that their work to be done. Nobody will come here and hire you just because you're passing from the campus. They'll hire you for your skills, that because your skills, you will go there and work for it. That's why I think they will take you in. So you need to understand what is work, workforce, and workplace. So we're going to talk about workplace. Let me skip this slide right now. I think I've already given you a brief about these 8 countries. So this is a McKinsey report. McKinsey report is talking about, and this you have to understand very, very well. This US, UK, France, Spain, Germany, India, China, and Japan. Okay, they constitute about approximately 50% of the population of the globe. Out of which, okay, 60% GDP is contributed by them. Okay, which is very complex labor models, number one. Okay, very complex diversity. So you see that in 2030, what they have researched, that out of every 16 human beings which is working right now, okay, whether it's a high-end job or low-skill jobs, one will change completely. So it talks and it gives a data that approximately 10 crores of the population in these countries will 100% have to change their jobs. Because why? Because I've shown you in the first slide, the work is going to change. So the people who used to work on the typewriters, they quickly learn how to use computers. Correct? Yes? The people, so suppose example, there was a Nokia earlier, Nokia is still there. They used to work on a Symbian operating system. Okay? That got changed immediately with the Android operating system, because Symbian operating system was having very limited work. But these days, we have to work limitless. So if we have to work limitless, we have to adopt certain kind of technologies which gives that. So on a similar basis, you will see. So I have brought you certain kind of skill sets which is being required and which will require in the future, and what kind of skill set will not be required. So this I will take you through in a later session. But for your say STEM, that means science, understanding, technology, engineering, maths, and also marketing, finance, HR. And apart from that, there are a few more skills what you have to acquire immediately right now. And then 100% you have to reskill yourself for coming future. Now, I think in the first panel, you have already heard about it, that India has become global and the best place to work is India. I think a lot of examples was being offered to you, given to you. So it means that if the best place you're working at it, so you 100%, the companies here, the companies what they're targeting to the entire globe. So they're MNC, multinational companies. They are servicing across the globe. So if they will hire you, so your talent should not be only focused on one functional area. It should be multi-functional areas. I think that is the summary of that. I'm going to give you certain kind of job growths and which sector you will see a maximum job growth, what has already been happened. So suppose e-commerce, I think you've already experienced Flipkart, Amazon, LinkedIn, and I think one of these CHRO was also there today. So similarly, online banking, fintech. Online banking does not only mean that you transact the money. Online banking also means that you lend the money from these fintech platforms. Okay. Then you're already there on the OT platforms. Transportation is an upcoming sector, which is very important. You will see in coming 5 years, 6 years, a lot of jobs gonna come to the organized transportation. Then a green energy. I'm gonna talk to you about it. Was that? Emerging sector is you know that in India or across the globe, large companies is working over the water management. Okay. Then defense. Defense does not mean you only make guns and arms. Defense means how do you save yourself? Okay. Then edutech and health center. Why? Because a lot of investments across the globe is happening in these areas. So you need to understand what has been happening in these areas for the past 5 years and what is going to happen in coming 5 years. So some of the low skill jobs, I will speak to you in this. So because e-commerce has come up very strong, so there are certain kind of jobs, like so for example, warehouse jobs. So because of e-commerce coming up over the entire platform, a lot of warehouse jobs, some low skill jobs, which has coming up. So it's just an overview to all of you to what kind of jobs growth will happen in coming 5 years. Okay, investment into green energy because everybody's talking about green energy. Okay, so you will see a lot of technician required for a green energy to control. Second and third is aging population. In Europe, you will see the maximum population is getting aging. So that means that a lot of health services is required. Suppose if somebody is aged 70 years, 25 years down the lane, that means you will get a lot of health aids. So in coming 5 years and 6 years, these are the jobs that will come up sharply. And so why I'm saying to you, whether you manage your own company or whether you work in these firms which will give this services, whether you work in HR or in marketing or in finance or in IT or combination of those, you have to understand that what kind of work is happening in coming 5 years, what kind of revenue these companies are making up, and what kind of skill set is required for you guys to work in these companies. Number third, so I'll just skip this up. These are, I think, already discussed in the first session. What kind of technology you have to learn. So I'll again skip this slide. I'll come down. So I've already briefed you understanding of future of work, which is very, very important for you. Understanding means you understand the concepts. Do not just go by with the anything. Technology, I was hearing the words from you, the AI will take the jobs. It's not like that. If you understand where the technology has to be used and where to be used, so then you know it. So first thing is that business. Am I clear that what kind of business is gonna come? How much revenue they're going to make? Number one. Number second, who will do this work? If you can balance these two stuff, you'll be able to understand all the sectors I briefed you. This is most valuable asset. I think all the HR leaders who is HR heads is there. I welcome all of you to brief them on the most valuable asset. And you see there's a demand and supply. So demand and supply talks about whether you are skilled enough or not for that particular company. And if you're not skilled, so that means the supply has to be managed from somewhere else. So this is the workplace for the future. Earlier, you see that the industries used to bring, I think 90% is still the same. We go to the work. That means whenever you join, you're joining various companies. So you will go to the work, and generally companies calling you for the work. After some time, that means 7 years, 8 years, 10 years down the lane, you will see that the work will come to you at different places. So whether it's a long-term remote work or it's a hybrid model work. And so I will just skip some slides and I'll show you some slides of all these works. What are the humanizing factors for what I think the today agendas are? So yes. I think today's topic, we're going to talk about the humanizing the workplace. When you work in so much of a dynamic environment, so what is the kind of humanizing the HR best practices has to happen? What I feel personally, I think, sure. Yeah. So, anyways, so what I feel personally that you should be self-inspired. Okay, when you are self-inspired, you're not dependent on anybody. It will happen for you in your life that somebody will speak A, B, C, D, E for you in your life. Whether you're working in a company, you don't know which company you'll go through. It's very important whatever culture you went in. Somebody will be very good. You will go into good companies. The culture will be very good. Some I don't know. Some will start your own startup. Whatever happens, nobody knows the future. If you know your path very clear, if you know your goals very clear, if you know your vision very clear, and you're very clean with your mindset that where you want to reach, okay? Even if failures happens to you, you will 100% have the willpower to go to the next level. So what I'm saying to you is humanizing the workplace is a topic I think the entire HR today we're gonna talk about. But I want to give you a different aspect altogether. It's about the self-belief system. If you have a very strong self-belief system, whichever place you are, you can change that system. So rather than be a part of the system or be a guy who will change the system. I will always believe So in my life, I always believe that if I'm not able to change that system, I'll go away. But I will try 100% to change that system. Am I clear on that? Yes. So it's a saying that be a first doer. So you have a clear vision. Number one, go towards it. Go and do all the hard work. Failure might happen sometime, might not. But I have not seen anybody in the life who has not failed. Take it from me. If your goals are big, you will gonna fail. But if you fail, it doesn't mean that you quit that particular thought process in your mind. You should not quit the thought process. You should hold the thought process till you don't achieve. Because it's your thought process. It's you who have thought. And how you can leave a thought process, what I have. So clarity of thoughts should be very clear and clear. Number one. Number second is that if anybody speaks to you that it is not possible, means if anyone speaks to you that your thought process is not possible, go back in your own self, go ahead inside that why they are saying that it's not possible. Once your belief pattern is set that yes, I can do it, then 100% you go full forward to do it. So never listen to the no sayers. Number one. Last, what is most important? Once you get success in your thought process, it doesn't matter what is your success hold in your mind. Once you get successful, then 100% go and help others. Come back to your campus, pull your juniors once again. Got it? Yes. So I think the humanizing factors all goes to the panel today. For me, I think this is what I've learned in all in my life. So there are a lot of ups and downs has happened, but we say never to quit. That's what I learned. So I think all panel goes for the humanizing factor, and please give them the best of the learning today. Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much, sir. Pune Institute of Business Management is a leading management institute which nurtures and develops young and dignified managers and entrepreneurs. It gives me a great pleasure to acknowledge the dynamic leadership of Sri Ramanpreet sir and humongous efforts of the managing committee members. In front of so many success stories created by PIBM and its founders with their razor sharp vision, fearless imagination, and smart hard work. This is the right time to have a glance at the milestones achieved in PIBM. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on the journey of our magnificent institute. Indeed, it's a pride to be a part of this team institution.
No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. We would be privileged to honor such dignitaries present with us today. Let's start the prestigious ceremony of our esteemed guests. Our esteemed guest has over 3 decades of experience in people function across end-to-end HR, sales and profit center management, communication, and branding, and many others. As HR leader at 24/7 AI, she spearheaded some of the best-in-class and award-winning people management initiatives, DEI, and CSR practices, strategies, and policies to strengthen organization culture and support practices for one of the top 30 companies for women to work for 2021. Through her career, she has been an active contributor in numerous external bodies and well-known forums like state government ICAI and ICWAI, chambers of commerce, industry forums like CII and NASCOM. She is currently Vice President HR, India 24/7 AI. Let us have a look at ma'am's prosperous career. With the usual applause, let's welcome the request for National Shri ma'am to felicitate Sushmita ma'am. Ma'am, please take it on stage.
Our next honored guest is an alumni of Accelerate Business School with around 2 decades of strong HR domain experience with leading firms in agriculture, real estate, retail, and financial services. Sir was recognized with the TA by Young HR Leader 2022, Sustainable HR Leaders India 2020, and 101 Top HR Minds India 2019, award by World HRD Congress and CHRO Asia. Sir has led several programs in strategic, transformational, and operational HR management. He had the opportunity to work in MNCs, promoter-led firms, and listed firms involving matrix structures and complex business environments, etc. Sir has experience with several new setup transactions and has led projects on business reorganization. He is currently the CHRO at Novotech, a Goldman Sachs company. Let us have a look at Sir's successful career. So, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Rishabh Sir. I would request Rampreet Sir, Chairman, PIBM Group of Institutes, to felicitate Rishabh Sir. So, concerned sir, please take this opportunity.
Our next revered guest is a transformational leader with change management as a core focus. Her primary interest areas are talent development, ADCs, counseling, coaching, succession planning, leadership development, employee engagement, organizational culture building, L&D. Ma'am's top skills are compensation structures, human resources, business transformations, among many others. She is also a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and is certified in professional behavioral analyst and in facilitation skills. She has over 15 years of experience and is currently the Chief Human Resource Officer at Wellness for Your Medicare Private Limited. Let us have a look at Ma'am's inspiring journey. I would request Ridhiman Sir, Assistant Director IRC, to kindly felicitate Ishikanta Kulkarni ma'am.
Our next signatory is a seasoned talent acquisition leader with 2 decades of experience in managing and setting up TA function. Sir is highly experienced in translating business strategy into talent acquisition plans and has experience in both high volume and niche hiring with strong expertise in talent operations. Sir is currently the Vice President HR, India 1 Philippines of Northern Trust. Sir is proficient in talent acquisition, people management, strategic planning, branding, university relations, data-driven decisions, and talent operations, and has worked with diverse teams in various industries such as banking and financial services, consulting organizations, and services industry. Let us have a look at Sir's wonderful career. With a huge round of applause, please welcome the panelists. I would request Ryan Research and PIBM Group of Institutions to felicitate Deepak Sal. So that's it. Thank you, sir.
Our next honorable guest is a human resource professional with a progressive career in a diverse and matrix environment. She has over 16 years of experience in specifically in talent acquisition and capability building, talent management, diversity, and inclusion. Her top skills are leadership, talent strategy, global talent acquisition, etc. Ma'am is also a certified social media recruiter. She has achievements like getting the title BW40 under 40. She is currently working as a senior director human resource in ADP. Let's have a look at Ma'am's inspiring career. I would request Chief Praveen Sir, Deputy HOD Marketing, to kindly felicitate Deepa Ma'am. So, please attend. Moving forward, it's time to commence the discussion in which our ever dignitaries will talk about humanizing the future of work. The discussion will cover the following aspects. What are the challenges HR is facing to humanize the work experience in tech-driven world? How is HR focusing on the total well-being of their workforce? How is the HR helping organizations in advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion? How is the HR reskilling itself and helping leaders, managers, and employees in reskilling? The discussion will be for an hour, followed by a Q&A session of half an hour from the students. For this, I would like to welcome a professional with over 8 years of corporate experience in different managerial capacities and subsequently more than 17 years of academic experience in teaching as well as training of sales plus marketing. Sir believes in end-to-end solution of development delivery and achieving excellent employment success of students by working closely with the industry. He holds a PhD, MSc from Presidency College, Kolkata, and MBA from the Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management. Sir has expertise in handling sales and distribution, CRM, and business development. He has also been certified by the Harvard University in Innovation in Healthcare. Sir presently heads the Industrial Relations Cell, along with overseeing the marketing department at PIBM. Promoted as Assistant Director, Dr. Ridhiman Mukhopadhyay, sir, we would request to chair the session.
Thank you, Rishikesh and Parliament. So, just once again reiterating what Sarah said. Good afternoon. What's happening? postprandial energy has gone down. Good afternoon. That's better. Yeah. So, just taking the preamble of this particular topic, as I was telling my co-panelists, that when we were working as a professional, basically I was working in a business vertical, right? So the element of humanity, especially in the business development or sales, it was very minuscule. Then we got to understand that it was human resource development which adds to the human face of the business functions. So once again, coming back to that, after long years, when I really it took me long years to realize that, and once again coming on this dais. So the most important part is that the impediment of getting this humanization done in your respective organizations. I think we are all of us interested in learning that. What has been your individual experiences in overcoming those inexplicable challenges which we have faced in humanizing the entire system. So I would take a very straight sequence from Deepa to Rishabh. So I think all the three ladies are first and followed by the men. Right, that's fine, I think. Absolutely. Ladies first, yes. Okay. Yes, Deepa, how would you define the challenge, and what are the prescriptions you as an HR leader has given to your company? Yeah.
Firstly, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. And I wanted to congratulate all of you for such a fantastic institute. I was so inspired looking at the AV. So, and all of you are lucky to be here studying. And I wish you best for the fantastic future. So, going back to the question, I think Sir has already given everything that we need to. Automation is here. AI is here, right? How many of you have used? I know all hands will raise. ChatGPT. Absolutely, right? It's AI world. Absolutely, no denying. None of us can live away from our smartphones. But there has to be a balancing act, balancing automation with human aspect. The human touch is not going to go away anytime sooner. So that's the element that all of us need to remember. At ADP in HR, we have developed 88 bots within the HR function. Within TA, I have 17 bots that are running. We use the bot to reach out to the candidates, stay connected with them. But it helps a recruiter to have those conversations saying, hey, have you received this email? How did you like it? So we are using technology, but also importantly, having that human touch. Second, the challenge I would say for HR is creating that sense of community. I think with pandemic, we live in this virtual world. All the WebEx that you use, Microsoft Teams that you use, the tune, I think most of us would remember the tune of a WebEx rather than a phone. Am I wrong in saying this? I don't think so. Most of us know what's happening, right? So sense of community when we are back to work, it's very, very important. The belongingness, that's the challenge for us today, given that we are in technology world, I would say.
I think yes, obviously you have literally set the tone. Coming to Sushmita, your is all out technology, right? Your website name tells us that, right? So in such a tech-driven world, it becomes all humongous task to bring in those humanity as we perceive. So you can share us the reality.
Sure, thank you so much. And I would like to echo what Deepa said, which is to congratulate all of you. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of such a wonderful institution. We saw such an illustrious journey. And Women, big congratulations to you and the entire team, Ridhiman and all of you. I have two boys who are of your age, 23 and 24, 25. So I can totally relate to, where you would be coming from. Because you're just about to step into your future, you're just about to start applying for jobs and preparing yourself for a career. I know how stressful that can be because I see them every day. My younger one is applying for interviews and so on. So I can totally relate to that. And my best wishes to all of you. So coming back to the question, and yes, I come from 24/7.ai. We are an organization which, while you see the AI tag there, it's all about AI and HR, which is AI, artificial intelligence, and human interface, right? So everything that we do, whether it's customer service for our end customers, or it is managing our employees, employee retention, employee engagement, all of it is done with a combination of AI and HI. So I want to dispel any thought, any worry in your minds that AI is somehow going to take over everything, because that is not going to happen. We use it every day. We use AI for the front-ending part of any transactions that we do, but beyond a point, as things get more and more complex, human intelligence has to come into play, and that's how, with a unique blend of these two, we can be successful in every transaction. So that's one very important thing to keep in mind. Coming to challenges that we have seen in a technology dominant world as things are evolving every day, the human connect still is very much a bedrock of any organization. You would have all heard of this phrase that culture eats strategy for breakfast every day. And that is so true. An organization, no matter how strong, how evolved the strategy is, cannot be successful unless there is a very strong bedrock of culture. And all of us who are part of an organization are each individually every day contributing to what the culture of an organization is. So in an environment where we are working in a hybrid mode, where half of our people, and today probably, I would say organizations vary from 80-20 to 50-50, people are working from home as well. One of the challenges we see is to sustain that culture, to make it tangible to people who are working from home. A lot of our people who are today with us, we have about 7,000 people in India, have joined during COVID times. And they have not come to office at all. It's only now that they're coming back to office. So the physical feel of a culture, when you walk into an organization, when you meet your colleagues, when you see the fun and engagement, they have missed that totally. So as HR, we are putting in a lot of effort on culture reinforcement programs, on creating events both online and in the physical workspace to create engagement, bring back that contact, bring back a more tangible version of what culture means to employees. I think that's one very, very critical thing. The other thing which we have seen to be a big challenge is that during COVID times, people have started feeling the distancing from their supervisors and leaders. Because in a physical world, your supervisor is just next door. You have a problem, you just walk across and solve it. When you're sitting at home, that becomes a challenge, and you're hesitating to call a person 5 times a day to figure out how to solve a problem. So we put in a very strong supervision governance framework where very regularly, every day, every week, right from the top leadership to the frontline supervisors to HR, we have a cadence of meetings, we have a cadence of connects, which involve fun, which involve celebrating the employees, which involve encouraging their passions. We have 10 passion clubs ranging from art to theater to photography to adventure to sports, wellness, and all of that. So all of that helps to bring some of these elements back and make it a more humanized workplace.
Actually, in fact, during COVID, we had something which is called virtual leadership series, where we had invited CHROs like you on our platform. A lot of those CHROs actually shared their experiences that they had a team which used to talk to the employee on certain intervals regarding understanding their mental state of health. So this was something which was, I believe, has been quite certain practice like you. And especially, I think when I'm coming to Nishiganda, I'm sure your business had literally had a spike during COVID. So I believe the more after was on our hand side.
I guess that's the unfortunate situation that when the world is suffering, we are making money. But that's the reality of the business. Yes, because of the business model, we are into pharma retail, so that's the business model. Everybody was working. There was no work from home. So in fact, I
Come to your frontline who are actually going for the delivery. How did you take care of those people using that kind of?
So the stores were on because they are 24/7. And medical stores were allowed to keep open. So the stores were operational. The staff was working 24/7. We had let down certain policies wherein the people were supposed to take those precautions. We had ensured that we will do the weekly testing for the people and ensure that they are not getting infections, and because they were working in that environment wherein very easily they could have catch any kind of infection, right? In fact, even I shifted my job during that COVID time. So I was working with Lakme, and from Lakme to
It's had a lot of jump during COVID. I've spoken to many people.
There also we had a similar problem because all our employees were front-facing employees. They were interacting with so many people. However, we had to lay down a very, very strict safety policy for our employees as well as the customers whom we are catering, because their health is also the biggest priority for all of us. Coming back to the tech. Yes, we all as HR professionals, we all feel that we should not be behind in implementing tech in our respective organizations. And if you will see that there are n number of companies who have come up with the HRMS platform, the employee engagement tools, lots and lots, right? And we always feel that yes, we need to implement all these, automation is must, digitalization is must, and we should do all that. Somewhere we as HR professionals, we have to keep in mind that while doing that, we are not losing the human touch, right? Yes, the best of the HRMS tools, they, give you the, from sourcing till everything can be managed through those tools. Yes, we are missing that human touch over here. The way Shmita just, she also mentioned that the people who joined during the COVID, they missed that entire experience. However, every employee gives minimum 3 or 4 level of interviews, and for that person earlier he used to visit that campus, right? And then they used to be able to get that pulse of the organization, the culture of the organization, how people are interacting with you. At the same time, the HR team had an opportunity to interact with that employee or that candidate for at least 4 to 5 times to understand whether this person is suitable for my, office environment culture. However, now that part is missing. And we have of late seen that the attrition rate has gone high because people say that there is a cultural mismatch, or there is, I'm not comfortable in this environment because you have not got that opportunity. So though that's a biggest challenge actually. The IT professionals, yes, they have got into the habit of work from home, complete work from home kind of an environment. And if you ask them to come to office now, they are not comfortably coming back to office, right? Because of their, the comfort of working from home or working from anywhere kind of a situation. Those are the challenges which are still there. As an HR professional, we will have to ensure that we are, trying to maintain that human touch. So what we started, yes, the recruitment process, the sourcing and everything happens through the tool, and that's fine. However, the interview process, we have started at least 2 levels of physical interactions. When we talk about the onboarding process and all, we have started a proper induction process again, wherein the person is getting the opportunity to meet the senior leaders in the organization, interact with them, and understand the expectations and the organization culture. I guess we will have to keep on increasing those human touch because now Most of the organizations, they prefer the hybrid work environment because there are other aspects to the business model, running the business model as well, right? So thanks.
Actually, for business HRs I've seen, they're even going to the field and meeting the distributors. Right, I once called up, well, I'm in the field, and there was a lot of horns and buses behind the background going on. It really makes us happy that at least the stress and the burnout which is there on the business front, it is actually getting dissipated because of the human resource intervention.
Absolutely.
That's up to you. Okay, Deepak, at least you represent a company or a bank which is US based. So obviously we understand it is carrying certain culture, and if it is not working on a geocentric mode, polycentric mode, if it is a geocentric mode, that certain bit of culture is also imbibed over here. So how they see that human face in the workplace?
Thanks a lot, Ruben. Thanks to all the staff, PIBM and Professor Taman Pixel, and all the students here who are very lucky enough to enter into this great place. Make use of every opportunity because I personally believe opportunities hardly knock the door. Okay, when the opportunity knocks the door, please open it once because it's not like bad luck. Always keep on knocking. Good luck only knock once. The minute it opens, please open. The people who opens it the first time are the luckiest people in this world. And I think you're all the most luckiest people because you got this wonderful opportunity to be part of this great institution. I take this privilege to share my experiences. Coming back to US, I will add to this flavor to the, at a little time. But as I speak about the humanizing the workforce, future of work, there are so many terminologies which we are using now. But most important thing, being an HR professional, I only see there's a one adjective or a word called experience. All right. Either I give an experience to you people because I spend 2 hours after this, I'll go back home, you go back home. I think there is a bit of an experience you have to gather and you have to earn from all of us. And that's an opportunity for me also. I don't think so how many times I get an opportunity to talk to you people. I thought I'll give an experience. The same thing in our organizations also. Every day, every minute, every second, every year, we try to give a great experience. Of course, those people experience, stay back. Those people don't experience, they leave us. On the same element, I keep watching a video. I've asked the team to keep a laptop available. I just want to present this video. It's a 2.5 minutes video. Hopefully, I can present that. So this is a recruiting. I don't know how many people. If somebody would have watched it earlier, please watch it again because this I would have definitely watched more than 100 times now. Enjoy this video for a minute. So it's a video. So this is a video which you'll be saying, don't look at the brand. I know the brand is quite amazing and interesting and they all enjoy over the weekends. Don't look at the brand. Don't worry about the brand. But look at the video. This is almost 15 years old video, but it's always as fresh as you can see it every day. Probably you can watch it or not. It's a great video to watch, especially from a recruiting side. Being a recruiter, we will enjoy this video. Yeah. Yeah. Don't look at the brand, please. Brand, I'm not spoiling anyone here. Raman Bitsan, I'm not spoiling that.
What's your biggest weakness? Being stubborn. And what's your management style? Passion. And what's your biggest weakness? Being stubborn. Stubborn, I think. Can you give me one reason why I should hire you? Because sports system and passion. I'm really passionate about football. I really like football. When you job for an interview, you good. You feel good. How are you? Thanks for the okay, thanks. Okay. And so you liked it when we were walking hand in hand.
It made me feel touched. Yes.
Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you are sure?
I'm fine. I'm just okay, I'll give you water in a second.
Yeah, you say no.
If we're talking about money, it's much more interesting about having system. I just had to say this one. So
Fire and passion or cold and calculated?
I would say cold and calculated because
Wrong answer.
fire and passion. Other people get affected by my enthusiasm.
You think I'm getting infected right now?
We need to go. Come, Simon, Mr. Whoops. Come on, we need to get going. Come on.
Get out the study. It's a fire.
Oh, now you understood what a HR guy can do, right? Absolutely. Thanks for watching it. I know it was quite a pleasure watching this, and I always keep watching when I go down, especially when I keep meeting people for interviewing, right? This is one thing which we watch because here the Heineken is, I don't know, if we only know Heineken as a bottle and we know when we have it. But it's quite important thing is Heineken is the one company in the globe which has a very less attrition. And the employee satisfaction score is always 99.9%. This is one company in the globe which runs at 99% employee satisfaction. And you see when they're selecting every single individual for the company, they are trying to give the best of the best experience when they hire the individual till the time they stay and they leave. Even their exits also as smooth as it should be. So I'll not take much of the time before I hand it out. It's the experience we are all here trying to gain and give. So let's look forward.
Great review, I must tell it. Okay, Rishabh, you stand a bit apart from the rest of the panels because you are from manufacturing come distribution, right? So more diversity in terms of the workforce. So at every element, starting from the factory floor to the distributors, to area managers, to representatives, how has been the humanization has been injected into the system?
My industry is where
once again you are connected to farmers as well, right?
Yes, exactly. So this is basically an agricultural sector, and you have to work day in and day out because if you don't work, the farmers will not live. If the farmers won't live, you will not be here. Right? You all will not be here. So understanding the people or humans as a human being is extremely critical because you want them especially during the COVID also. Nobody could work from home. Only except the first month, April 2000. That is 23rd March till mid of April, right? 2020. That was the only phase people could work from home. My back-end employees were actually working from home for a certain period, but I used to enjoy working because there was no cars, no people, not even dogs on the road when I used to drive. And I always used to ask 2 or 3 of my team members to come, and of course, then enjoy in the evening at times if available. You can understand. So that was really the best time of life. I honestly believe that because that was absolutely peaceful and fun, right? But people have to enjoy that within. If you have that fear that no, I will not go, what will happen to myself, my family, then what about your job? What about the people who are dependent on you? What about so many employees, their family members, the customers, their customers, the end consumers, right? Like people, human beings, we all. So we always need to understand that we all are human beings. We have family back home, right? People are waiting for us. But at the same time, everybody has the same. So keep yourself in the same shoes if you want your people to be happy. That is very important. And that is what is, I believe, leadership is also. And human beings are the most important thing because I think they are not resources. Because resources is what something depletes, it ends. I don't take human beings as resources, even though I'm in the HR department. Point long time back, I can't change it. But human beings are not resources.
They're capital. They're capital.
They're capital, of course, you can say that, but not even, I don't say even capital. They have immense potential. Only thing is, a true leader can unleash the potential of his or her people who are in their charge. Like Simon Sinek says, we need to take care of our people who are in our charge. We are not in charge. We need to take care of the people who are in our charge. Like for sir, it is you people, the entire team. He has been taking care of you, right? Organizing such events. It's a privilege for us, and of course, you also. I still remember, I can figure out there are some of the students who are extremely serious, noting down, but some of them just chill. ये अपना time है, right? हमारा time ऐसा ही था कभी. But then life becomes extremely difficult. If you focus now, life will be easy for you. If you don't invest your own time, because this is your time, your parents have spent a hell lot of effort and money to send you people here, right? We also went through the same things, very difficult times. You people are a privileged lot wherein you have got the privilege of having instant gratification because जो भी चीजें एक मोबाइल क्लिक पे सब चीजें हो जाती हैं. हमारे टाइम पे ऐसा नहीं होता था. Even though I studied my first MBA from Pune, life was extremely different back then. So you people are a privileged lot. Invest your time because you need to first understand yourself as a human being because human beings has immense potential. Understand it. Know your own self. Try to bring your own self to the best possibilities. That is most important.
Great thought. Great thought. The next point is a very interesting one. In fact, I'm expecting some very interesting stories, right? When it comes to how do you bring about the wellness, mental and physical wellness in your employees. So I would be, let's put our hands together for some very interesting stories because I have learned certain very crazy stories. I've learned in a company where actually the employee, the recruiters actually dance with the employees during induction. So that was the initial stage where the wellness was brought in. So I'm sure there are some exciting stories in your kitty. So once again, Deepa, if you can start.
Deepak, amazing video. So this proves once a recruiter, always a recruiter. I joined ADP in 2005 as a fresher, and I can relate to all of you. I was sitting in symbiosis like all of you, listening to guests like this. And I have learned a lot. Like it was just said, right? Some of us were chilling, and I was in that chilling student who was chilling and trying to absorb. So it's absolutely okay. I would go back to Deepak's point, experience. Soak in the experience that you're getting right now. Just hear out the stories. Maybe there's something that it will add. Going back to wellness, we have a lot of things for pandemic to thank. Right. One of them is wellness, the total well-being. I know you will say, I said thank. if you look at it, mother like me, I didn't spend too much of a time with my child when he was growing up. He's 9 year old, and I had best of my time with him when I was at home. Right. So there are a lot of stories that you would have for people who stayed with their families, ailing parents. And one good thing for the organization was total well-being. It was not a term that we all were used to before pandemic. Trust me, none of us were okay talking about mental wellness. It was a taboo. पागल है क्या? कौन काउंसलर के पास जाता है? Have you heard that phrase? Absolutely. पागल नहीं है. This is the stress that we are going through, right? We need, as humans, we need to talk it out. We need to share. So ADP, of course, we had a lot of things that we did, but one thing that we did, maybe a lot of companies also did, but we did personalized coaching. We were reaching out to people who were in distress. We identified people from the businesses who were trained to talk to their teams and understand if there is something which we can help them at a personal level, financial level. Of course, most of the companies did financial aid, aids. ADP was absolutely not different. The virtual interviews that were happening, like he said, were made more interactive, with fun, dance, Q&A, rapid fire questions, because we wanted to decrease that stress level. And have we come a long way from, going away from this taboo word? I don't think so. There's still very, very long way to go when people will feel okay openly going to a counselor and saying, I need help. Today also, when we have a counselor on site, it's at a place where nobody can see. Why? Because, what if my performance gets impacted if my manager gets to know that I'm visiting a counselor, right? It's not the case. So I think all of us need to accept this concept of total well-being, which is mental and physical also. All organization institute adopted yoga, Zumba, laughing, or being together, having those conversations. I think physical wellness has been there for a very, very long, but I think the focus now is being more on mental well-being, and that's how it is total well-being.
Yes, I think you told it. Sir, when someone goes for a psychiatric consultation, we all know person is an insane person. That's why he's going to a psychiatrist. You need to understand it is not meant for a person who goes to a psychiatrist or who is bad or mentally insane. He must regroup back to stability. Might have he has lost his stability to any critical incident. That we must understand. I think that society needs to be empathetic in that way. Yeah, Sushmita, you are taken onto the same.
So, as we are asking, is this working? Can you hear? So, as we are asking this question, I just happened to glance upon this quote by Swami Vivekananda, and it says, build body and mind together, and the world will be at your feet. I think that totally sums it all. It is wellness is all about both these things. Certainly, what she said, mental well-being is extremely, extremely important. It's a combination of both. You need to focus on your body because that's what houses your soul. It houses the spirit that you are. But along with that, focus on building mental resilience because life will throw challenges at you. I think, Ramanpreet, you said you don't know anybody, nor do I, who has not faced failure. All of you also would have. You would have tried to do something in school. You wouldn't have won that first prize that you dreamt of, and so on and so forth. But through each such experience, you need to build mental resilience that will stand by you throughout your life. There is a video by Denzel Washington which talks about failing fast. And you must watch it. All of you are online. It's very inspiring. And it really talks about how failure is the first stepping stone to success. I think that's one of the big learnings that you must get at this stage, because you must not be disappointed by small obstacles that come your way. They will come your way, and they are just leading you to that big dream, that big goal that you have for yourself. So mental health, mental wellness, I think is extremely important. The encouraging thing to the point that Deepa was making and you were making, that, it's still considered a taboo. I do see in your generation, and I mean all of you youngsters here, that you're far more open to taking help, to taking recourse to therapists if you see challenges, probably because today's schools are far more evolved. Many schools have in-house counselors, and corporates today are adopting the same practice. We have in-house counselors because our average age group of people are 25 years. And so we keep having these small challenges and sometimes big ones. Then we do have cases where people want to commit suicide. And then we immediately connect them to the counselors, and they're able to talk through their problems. And believe me, when you talk through your problems and somebody is just listening to you and giving you an objective view, it puts things in perspective. And we've been able to turn around most of such cases and bring them back on the right track. So be open to mental wellness. Focus on health, focus on physical health as well. Eating habits, physical fitness, which most of you thankfully are much more conscious of than we used to be. But these are very important. Keep that going. In a hybrid workplace, we have seen that mental stress has increased because your social interactions decrease. When you're interacting with friends, you're interacting with colleagues, there is a certain energy that you imbibe from each other, which is missing when you're sitting alone at home and working day after day after day. While a lot of people still want to continue working from home, but really, believe me, the vibrance and the energy of the workplace is infectious, and it uplifts your mental health. So those are the challenges that we have faced, but we have involved families and had dialogues with spouses on how can we support each other through this journey. We have, like I said, mental health experts from the industry, in-house counselors, and of course, a lot of focus on physical wellness, Zumba, aerobics, and a lot of such things, adventure sports, which help people be at a much better mental overall health and wellness level.
Absolutely. So it goes hand in hand, the mind and the body. So obviously, yogas, Zumbas, this has been the part and parcel. So Nishikanta, what happened to your employees who are on an everyday stress while going for getting always on an apprehension of getting infection any day, because they were actually in the interface where they were delivering to those pharmacists and chemists and supplying?
Absolutely. So here I have two stories to share. The first part, definitely I being a part of Virtual and Unilever being one of the employee friendly and one of the best, organization for, considering the people aspect. Before the government had announced the lockdown, Unilever had announced work from home. They were so cautious about their people, they said that no, we won't expose our people to the outer world. We had launched a 24/7 helpline for our people when they can call anytime for any of their friend, family, anybody who needs the help, they can just call. They can. It was kind of a panic button you have in your hands. We had launched that service, and initially people were hesitant because of the taboo that mental well-being. How can I discuss some of my personal problems with third person and all? We HR team, we ensure that we will connect with our people and we will continuously talk about it. It's okay to talk about it. It's fine to share about it. And I, being a certified counselor and a psychotherapist, it helped me. It helped a lot that I was able to support my team, wherein my team was able to support the entire human capital which we had. Also, we did a lot of engagement activities at that time, right? Because that employee connect was important. People were feeling very lonely, secluded, because a lot of young generation, they were staying away from their families and they were stuck in places wherever they were working. Obviously, no support, no family, and they were working. It was a very tough time for them. We started doing a lot of activities for them. In fact, for our backend team as well. We did online Lakme's Got Talent at that point of time, wherein we had properly planned teams. The teams were supposed to perform, and it was really fun because after the office hours, actually, they used to connect on Teams call and they used to practice on the songs. It was fun. Network would play its own role. However, people were connected throughout and they felt that belongingness, which was very important and critical at that point of time, right? We started a lot of health initiatives because when we talk about well-being, it's mental, physical, and emotional. All three aspects needs to be taken care of. At times, we just need somebody to listen to us. We don't need any solution or a guidance from the person, but somebody should listen to me. We ensure that will happen. We ensure that the managers are not scheduling any meetings after the office hours or during the lunch times or during the weekends. We also did beautiful online activity where they were supposed to prepare a movie. We 10 minutes movie, and it was a live performance of that movie, and really employee enjoyed a lot because they could feel that there was like the bond which was getting created during those activities. Also, we could see a lot of hidden talent during that time. When we talk about the frontline employees and when they were dispensing the medicines and all, yes, we had already, onboarded the counselors with whom they can talk, they their challenges, they can discuss their fears, and obviously the confidentiality clause works. So the counselors were not sharing the names, however, they were sharing the feedback with HR to take the actions, that what kind of fears or what kind of thoughts are going on in your employees and how you can actually work around it. And that helped us a lot, by giving them the medical coverage, by giving them the ensuring them that we are there to help, we are there to take care of you, and we will ensure that you are vaccinated. We will ensure that we will keep on checking your physical health at any given point of time. If you are showing any symptoms, please immediately inform us. We will take care of it. And these frontline people, they being from that industry, they were quite equipped to take care of themselves because they knew that what are the symptoms and how what are the precautions I need to take. They were very much cautious about those things. At the same time, they were taking care of each other. The moment they used to feel that somebody is not well or something, they used to tell the person, please go home, take rest, we will cover up your shift. So somewhere
there was a sense of fraternity which I can
yes,
see that.
We always see that belongingness coming together, that was there. And at Lakme, we had actually launched a campaign that we are together in this. And
even the Lakme, when you told about Lakme reminded me that you had gone into salon business. No,
yes.
I think a lot of salons were closed during that time.
Absolutely.
So, and if salon people, they were not your employees, but they were partners. How did you
So that was the biggest challenge actually, right? Because post lockdown, I guess salon industry was the industry which opened last, and people were at home. They were initially they were troubled that what are we supposed to do sitting at home, and most of the people, they were from Northeast and all that. The people who have come across the India for working in this industry, the makeup industry, they can't go back. They don't know what to do and how to survive. The best thing what we had done was we invested a lot in upskilling our people during that time. And actually, we were recognized that entire initiative because we had invested 5 lakh training hours to train, and including the franchising partner employees. We ensured that, so obviously we had the database because of the law. So we were connected with all the people, including as a partner employees. We conducted a lot of training interventions which will help them to enhance their skills, practice their skills. Again, we rolled out a lot of competitions, online competitions, where they can demonstrate skills and won the prizes. At the same time, they need to earn the money, right? So what we did that we had another branch which is a professional beauty products. So we actually launched a commission or an incentive scheme for our people where you can directly sell these products to the customers because they obviously have their own customer base with them. So you sell these products and you can earn 10% commission on that. And that's how they were making money. So, we could actually maintain that. And Unilever, being Unilever, so they supported us to, take care of our franchisee partners as well. So vaccination, medical health, online health, or the mental well-being line, everything, all the support was extended to the franchisee partner employees as well.
Nice to hear this story. Absolutely. So, Deepak, what did your global bosses instruct regarding induction of this wellness during this critical times? Obviously, this has been the
instructions are plenty. Instructions are plenty. People ask to go, please shut down your laptop at 6 o'clock. And 7:30, you get a message on your mobile, where are you? Right? So instructions were very clearly documented, saying 6 o'clock, please shut down your laptop, you're not going to work. But 7:30, you get on a mobile, and 8 o'clock, you have a call again. So keeping this aside, instructions are plenty, as I said. But it's quite important, right? On a serious note, well-being is all about you keeping yourself happy. Right? It's most important that how many of us follow our hobbies? Not many, because since COVID days, a lot of people left their hobbies because most of us go out and play. Somebody dance, somebody sing, and so and so. A lot of us left our hobbies. I think it's quite important from most of the organizations are started encouraging people to enjoy their hobbies, start their hobbies, practice their hobbies. And time organizations are giving out at least an hour, 2 hours during your working hours. Please go back and practice your hobbies. There is one story from my home, my personal side. Me and my wife both are HR. We both work at home. And in the year 2020, in a room and attending call. I was sitting in a room attending call. 6:30, we were exhausted, came out and saying, now this is your job. You go and clean Bartan. I am going to go out. And my little one, which is a 12-year-old, that time she was 8-year-old, 9-year-old. She was sitting in a room corner and saying, then my wife went and asked, what happened to you? She says, you are the only 2 people not stressed out. Equally, I am stressed out. Then I was sitting somewhere in the room and I came and running and said, okay, what made you to stress? She says, it's been close to 6 months. I don't have friends. Are you aware? You guys are not even playing with me. I don't have friends. I'm not stepping out of home. The only friend I have is my mobile phone. And look at the kind of a stress the kid is going through. That was the time we told both of us, stay there, okay, now let's shut the laptop at 7:30. Till the time kids sleep, don't open the laptop again back. So 6:30, close the laptop. 9 o'clock, it's very clear to my boss saying that instructions followed. I'm not going to open the laptop till the time my daughter sleeps. So 6 to 9 or 9:30, we ensure we watch a movie together, we go for a walk, we play at home, whatever you want to do, let's enjoy, let's sweat at home. That's the practice which we have followed. I think cutting short, I know, keeping in mind time, there are a lot of stories most of you have, but feel free to open up and do what you like to do. I think a lot of people say, mom says something, dad says something, your professor says something, but please do what you like to do. Okay, of course, education is primary, just follow that. But rest of the world, 8 hours is your study hours, the rest 16 hours is your time. If you want to sleep, sleep. If you want to play, play. If you want to watch movie, do what you like to do. That's the most best stress reliever in the world.
Great. I believe that the problem of the timing, the 2 different time zones, I think that created the maximum problem. Getting the instructions in odd hours. Right.
So it's working hours is very tough because I do manage Philippines. My story is quite different because 2.5 hours is ahead is Philippines. So there 9 o'clock is my 6:30. 7 o'clock I have a call. So but I ensured my earlier I used to go for a walk at 6 o'clock. So my walking style went to 5 o'clock now. 5 to 6 I go for a walk and 6:30. By 6:30 I'll come back home and 7 o'clock I open the laptop, any calls that and take a break for 2 hours, start your India working hours, finish your work hours in India again 6 to 9, 8:30 close your, then I open my US hours. So almost it's a 3 shifts I work basically. It's morning 6 to late night 11, 12 o'clock, Philippines, India, US. But it's quite important I could able to manage well. I think that's where organization was supporting all of us and is supporting all of us to manage our work-life balance very well. I think hats off to Northern Trust and hats off to most of the companies in this world. They are giving flexibility. I think thanks to COVID, which brought so much of flexibility to all of us.
Nice to hear that. So, Rishabh, initially the rural India was not so affected. Gradually, rural India got affected, and as I understand your business, your catchment area is mostly rural. All the poultry farmers, all the dairy farmers. So, what is the kind of wellness when your business people they had moved into a consumer-facing role? What is the kind of wellness, or what is the kind of mental support could you really extend to them? If you can share some of your stories.
See, in our terms, more than our employees, it was the wellness of our customers, the farmers. That was more important because they had to live. Honestly speaking, the kind of impact that the rural sector had during COVID, the urban sector had. What the rural sector did was not affected because probably of the healthy lifestyle they live. Because we all are under so much stress because our expectations are way high. The expectations of the people at the rural level are not that high because their aspirations is not to live in a 7 CR house or make a huge building or something like that. It is not like that because they know that their infrastructure is limited and they are very contented and peaceful. That is why they live more than probably we do in cities, right? So our main role was to engage with those customers. In fact, as I had shared earlier also, I had asked my entire management team to visit and meet customers, the end consumers, the farmers, even the poultry grower, the fish farmers, everybody we used to meet and interact, and any support, be it their online sessions for their customers. For example, we have a dealer and they have almost 100 farmers. So we used to even engage on mobile conduct programs through our dealers. We used to facilitate all these things to educate people how to come up with solutions with COVID or whatever be it. How can they live healthy? Is there any actual impact or there is no impact? So these things we had to engage more with the customers. And of course, our employees played a crucial role in that part. Now coming to part on a personal front, I would simply say more like Deepak. I had a very weird lifestyle during my entire COVID. Thank God people should not get any work from home because my life was so torture. I used to come back home at 8 o'clock. By that time, my wife would have started working around 6:30. Entire night the call. It was American shift. She had to work. And canteen, there was a table lamp that used to run. Initially, it was the light on. Then they said something has to be arranged. Somehow I arranged a table lamp because studies have gone far.
And India, if you see workstations, professional workstations was very difficult to find now.
Exactly. Beyond my head, she had his table and she was continuously working till 4 o'clock in the morning. And I should tell her, ठीक है, थोड़ी बहुत जो नींद आएगी 5 बजे उठा देना, because I had to go for a walk, then meditation, and then go for office. So it was a terrible torture. Thankfully, the work from home days are gone for me and for her also. So this is practically COVID had taught so many things to adjust in a relationship. Right? So everywhere it is like for an employee or a family or anybody, it takes a lot of sacrifice to come up in life. So we all need to be ready about it and to manage very simply stress. I don't think there is not anything called stress. It's a Western word that we have got into a lot because our aspirations are not matching our own reality. We all know what we can do. If suppose my mother would have expected, my father never expected, by the way, my mother would have expected me to be into an IIT or an IIM. That was a disaster of a dream. I knew my potential, I couldn't be. So what I managed, I take a simple college se kar lo. I always understood what dhanda kisko bolte hain. Ultimately, paisa kamana hai, ROI. You all need to understand, rokda, ultimately. Paisa laga idhar, aapke father ka. right? या किसी ने loan लिया होगा. So you have to understand how to get back and how quickly you can rotate that money and earn for your own self. That I always understand really well. So I managed my own expectations. I didn't have. I got into XLRI after my experiences, right? Where I knew I could fund for it. Father का इनफैक्ट अगर आपके लैंग्वेज में कहूँ तो बापू का पैसा ज्यादा उड़ाना नहीं था और पहले बहुत उड़ा चुका था. So that is how it is. So we all have to have first of all great friends जिससे आप अपने जो प्रॉब्लम्स हैं शेयर कर पाओ, ताकि आज के डेट में अगर आप इंडिया के डेटा में जाओगे, most of the suicides are from standard 8 to standard 12 just because of wrong expectations. Please don't have wrong expectations from yourself. If you are a mediocre student, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. दुनिया mediocre लोगों से भी बहुत अच्छी चलती है. सब के सब, how many people you know who are from top colleges and you know them, the world knows them? नहीं होता. आप अपने बचपन के दिन के याद करो जो आपके टॉपर्स थे, कहाँ है वो लोग? थोड़ा बदमाश होना जरूरी है लाइफ में, थोड़ी कर लो. मैं अपने जमाने में बहुत था. और
Rishabh, you will get back to Kolkata. We have to stay over here in the campus, right? So please.
So live your life. Honestly speaking, live your life. Have wonderful friends. यही टाइम है. इसके बाद दोस्त शायद बहुत कम बनेंगे क्योंकि सारे मतलब के बनते हैं. आज के डेट में दोस्त बनेंगे.
Although Rishabh, you spoke much of that heart, but the next thing, a slightly on a serious note, our next agenda for discussion is basically diversity, equity, and inclusivity. I think, which I think they need certain serious conditioning onto this, and specifically as we have told that probably there were certain areas where we are finding this generation are very sharp and they're very fast into certain things. Into certain things like empathy or humility, I think they need to be conditioned further, which is obviously it is a job of our faculty, but when it comes from people like you, I think it's a better diffusion which happens. So once again, Deepa, if you can just speak on to, you can take certain examples from your company, how DEI is getting instituted over there.
Firstly, sorry, fun segment, and this is a very serious topic, right? But I absolutely agree with Rishabh. This is the best time of your life. Enjoy it, have fun, and make every day count, because this is where you will make best of friends. Totally agree. Moving on to the D&I topic, it's not a requirement anymore. It's not good to have. There's no option. Organization today do not have an option to discuss D&I. It is there in your face. Okay, so lot of initiatives. Every company I'm sure is driving, but I'm able to see an extremely good diversity here, and I am so glad and happy that the future for us is very, very bright. I'm sure young women out there, you're going to be there sitting in the boardrooms very, very soon. So I'm happy about that. But going back to my organization, what different things that we have done? We do an entire month of women hiring, focused only on women hiring. The interviewers are women. Of course, the applicants to various sources are women, and we ensure to make at least 100 plus offers. And we do not leave their hands when we make offers. We ensure that when they are onboarded, we provide them the experience, the mentor, the buddy who helps them. And this is from pressure to a lateral. There's another initiative that we started is called iRise. This is for women with career break. Unfortunately, in India, women are required to take break because of maternity, family responsibilities. And when we are ready to hit the workforce, मैं कर पाऊंगी क्या? Am I ready? मेरे को आता है? These are the questions that linger in your mind. And we said, that's okay. We want you to be back in work if you are comfortable. So we had a contracting initiative wherein you are a contingent worker with 3 to 6 hours of work, and of course you can get into a full-time job as well. With that, we gave them a mentor.
There are BRGs. Every organization has BRGs, the employee resource groups. So we have a IBN BRG. I lead the diversity initiative, by the way, for the organization, and it's extremely close to me. So these initiatives of bringing women with career break told us there's much more that we can do. We started with people with disability, because in India, I think the thought process is diversity is just gender diversity, right? This is generational diversity. Today, the problem that every corporate is facing is welcoming the Gen Z. Are we ready? Is the workforce ready? So that's another thing that organizations like us are welcoming. I think I want to bring in a personal story here. So when I joined in the organization, of course, as a fresher and moved up the rank, I had the leaders that I was working very, very closely, right? When I started sitting with them now, couple of years ago as a function head, the thought process is ये तो बच्ची है, right? इसको क्या आएगा? ये तो मैंने इसको hire किया था. That's the challenge that we face. कि अभी तो ये बच्ची है, मैंने इसको हायर किया था, 17 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, मैं 30 years, 35 years, I am this, I am that. Of course, but I think we need to break that barrier. It's not about experience anymore, and I'm saying it loud and clear. It's not about experience, it's the attitude, the continuous learning that you have to bring in place. Thank you.
Greta, you always speak of the ladies recruitment drive. Buses are having ladies seat. Nothing except for gents. So,
52%. We are at 52%. We are still trending down on diversity. The women diversity, we want to.
Okay, fine. Over to you, Sushmita.
Yeah, so just to that point of men, we are still at about 70-30. So men definitely are predominant.
PIBM is 65-35.
I was very happy to hear that we're nearly 60-40 now. So that's
60-40, yes. It is it does not get improved.
That's
yes.
It's better than the industry benchmark. Typically, the benchmark ranges in the range of 35 to 38%. So that's very encouraging to see. What we do from a DEI focus, for us, there are three segments focus on. One is gender, of course. Second is LGBTQ AI, very important for us right now. And the third is persons with disabilities. But the first two are extremely and right now real-time focused. So for women, we have a program which is called Shakti. All of you would know that Shakti really stands for divine feminine energy. And under the Shakti program, we focus on three things, three pillars. One is hiring more women. Two is developing more women and ensuring career progression and ensuring that there is nothing called a class ceiling. And third is retaining more women through supportive policies, processes, measures, because we have to bring in some level of flexibility. So we have policies which allow them to do part-time. We have policies which allow for flexi shifts wherever roles permit them to do that, and so on. So through the focus on these three pillars, we've been able to now take it to about 33-34%, and our goal is next to take it to about 40% gender diversity. And the second thing is, like I said, and by the way, COVID opened up a lot of opportunities for us to get in more women, because a lot of homemakers who were not able to, and we literally are 24/7 shift. So my work hours, for example, start at 2:30 in the afternoon, go until 1, 2, 3 in the morning. But a lot of women are not able to do that because of different reasons at home. So COVID opened up the opportunity for such women to work from home and still join industries like ours. And that's something that we took advantage of. Now, coming to LGBTQ That again is a big focus for us because, and I mentioned earlier that our typical age group are youngsters like all of you. And today people are much freer to come forward and speak, but even then we have seen resistance. So a couple of years ago, I think actually at the start of COVID, we launched a global LGBTQ and allies network, which includes people from the community and then people like us who want to be allies and who want to encourage them to come forward. In the first year, I remember we had just 3 people from the community and about 40 of us who were allies. Today, that is reversed. And after a lot of continuous effort, a lot of conversations, creating forums to come forward, to talk about their journeys, bringing external speakers from the community to come and talk, share their experiences. We've been able to reverse that trend. Today, in that network, we have about 40 plus people from across our different locations in India and abroad. Who have come forward and said, yes, I belong to the community and I take great pride in being part of the community. We just finished a carnival a week or so ago, and our jury members for the various events that we had included diversity of different kinds. People from LGBTQ, people from our support staff, our housekeeping staff, people from PWD, who were all part of jury members to judge events or dances or performances. So we try and bring in equity as much as possible in everything that we do. And the other one, to your point about generational diversity, right? And I totally agree that there is opportunity to learn from every generation. In my organization, we have at least 4 generations. And we have programs. We have one program which is called Young Mentors, and another one which is called Stormtroopers. Now, these two allow people like you who are newbies in the company to reverse mentor leaders like us. So on strategic transformational projects for the organization, because we might be at 30,000 feet, 50,000 feet, whereas you will be closer to the reality on the ground. So we pick and choose the best, the high pots from groups like you, and they work with the senior most leaders to reverse mentor them, saying this strategy which you're thinking of will not work because of XYZ reasons. And we take that very seriously. They are our project mentors, and we take those inputs and make changes to our strategy accordingly. So it's a platform that we're very proud of, and it's an aspirational platform, and the best of the best are chosen to be part of it, but it allows them to work with CXO level people. So,
Sushmita, it's very nice to see from a perspective of CHR. Obviously, you are giving your thoughts. But what is the when it comes to, obviously, I understand for gender diversity, but for LGBTQ, when it comes to you're inducting more and more such kind of people from that social strata, what's been the impact on the other employees? Did you have any kind of a sensitization program?
Yes, I think lot of education. Like I was mentioning earlier, one thing which I do see is that in your generation versus in, let's say, mine, I'm ancient, there is much more acceptance and inclusion. But I mentioned earlier about our culture program. In that, one of the bedrocks is diversity and inclusion and an equitable workplace. And we constantly reinforce that message through learning sessions, through peer-to-peer recognitions of people who are demonstrating inclusion. And through that, we've been able to educate people. We did have people in the past where somebody said, oh, but I don't want this person to be sitting next to me. That does happen. And that's a reality. But that's where education has to come.
It takes very difficult for people to settle with the fact that somebody is sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Is having that kind of a social behavior.
Yeah, and then, washrooms, for example, right? And the person who's from the community has a big problem because they don't know whether to use the men's washroom or the women's washroom. So then we brought in gender neutral washrooms on every floor in every site so that they have the choice to exercise and they could use those. So small things like that, as well as platforms for them to come and speak, as well as the allyship programs have really helped. But it's a journey. It's not something that changes overnight. It's continuous reinforcement. It's peer-to-peer behavior. It's messaging from leaders and all of us standing up and saying this is the right thing to do.
Right. So, Nishikanta, I believe when it comes to HUL or LACME, I think this was being a part and parcel because HUL, we know that kind of advanced, very advanced level of human resource culture they were actually nurturing. But when it comes to your current company, how you have faced the challenge of practicing such DEI?
You're absolutely right. Unilever, I guess, 6 years back, they had introduced the gender neutral washrooms in the entire campus. Right. And the first time when people got to know about it, people were in a shock. However, they had ensured that they are conducting a lot of awareness sessions around it. You know, when we talk about diversity, it's not only about the gender diversity, right? The thing is, you know, it's India has multiple religions, multiple localities, multiple language preferences, and yes, we do see that. Pardon me, nothing against any. I'm just taking an example. However, you know, we earlier had seen that, you know, one manager is from a particular religion or something. He would ensure that he is hiring more and more number of people from that particular community, language, preference and all, because that's the comfort level. However, that creates the entire imbalance in the organization. As an HR, we, you know, the clear instructions to the recruitment team that, you know, at the time of sourcing itself, we need to be sure that we are sourcing those diverse profiles for that particular role. We are not, and the other, you know, observation. When we talk about diversity, you know, you will see some of the positions are mentioned as diversity reserve or only for female. And then the business leaders would say, "हाँ ये ना हमने वो number maintain करना है ना, so we have reserved this position." It's not a number. It's an emotion, right? Which you need to carry. That, you know, we are going to have the diverse workforce. People from different communities, religion, languages, when they come together, there would be a lot of great output. In the current organization, yes, primarily, you know, the initial, what you can say, the stores were in Maharashtra itself. So a lot of Maharashtrians were, you know, got the opportunity probably. However, when you start expanding and then you see that the first-time managers or that, you know, talent is from one particular community, that becomes a little challenge. Because if you are expanding in South and if you are asking a Maharashtrian manager to go there and manage that particular store, and all are, you know, that kind of challenges we did face. Because of the language barriers, culture barriers and all. That's where we consciously took a call that, you know, we will ensure that we are actually sourcing the diverse workforce. Also, when we talk about thankfully we are at 38% women employee strength in the front line, in spite of having the 24/7 workforce. In fact, we have one store in Mulund, which is run 24/7 by all women employees. And that was as an experiment we actually launched last year on 15th of August. I personally took the ownership of that store, ensuring that that store will, you know, cross the the targets, and we will achieve the targets.
Business goals, yes.
Yeah, because it was very critical for me to show that this business model is possible and this can be executed and replicated, right? We ensured that, and then yes, now we will see few more stores coming up like that. Also, if you will see the store manager, that leadership level, more than 40% are women store managers, which we have. Right, because that's the top talent which is emerging and coming, and because of that, we could the next, the line also we could develop that the women leadership, and I'm really happy that we are able to develop the internal ingrown women leadership in the organization. That's actually
what is the percentage in the board? In the boardroom, what is the percentage of women?
Only one.
So
Okay.
I wish you increase on your numbers, right?
Absolutely. One example which I wanted to give you on the DEI, we talk about at the like gender diversity, or we talk about the community diversity and all. It's wherever we have the differences, actually, that's the diversity. So when we actually wanted to write our vision values, that's where I decided that the actual DEI we will implement. We conducted a lot of focus group discussions, wherein from the store team till the senior leadership team, all the diverse group actually, had those focus group discussions. We ensured that all level of people are able to express their viewpoints. That actually gave us that equity, diversity, inclusion, everything, that kind of a feeling. And when we actually launched the vision mission values, the people were very happy that mera bhi input hai isme, right? And that's where people would remember those vision mission values. Otherwise, somebody sitting in the boardroom if writes and tells them that this is your vision mission values, they will never remember.
Right, it needs to be continuously reinforced. Actually, so Deepak, I believe your global bosses are already attuned to this kind of diversity. So probably what kind of the best practices they have tried to inculcate in the Indian management. I think that's something very interesting to listen.
So I think in Northern Trust, global level diversity is quite good. Senior leadership is 50% also, at times more than 50%. I have a different challenge here because India, we are 35-65 or 40-60. 60 is a male and 40 is a female representation in India. Likewise in Philippines, 65-35. 65 is female representation, 35 is male representation. So morning I attend a call where people ask me, increase the male population there. That means hire more male crowd. In next 1 hour, I attend India call where it says, please increase female, hires more. Yeah. So at times we make a funny joke, let's transfer people from India to Philippines and Philippines to India, balance it. That's a straight cost. But that doesn't happen anyways. But on a serious note, as Nishi mentioned, diversity is not specific to gender, LGBTQ things. I think diversity is more specific to education. Diversity is specific to region. Diversity, because when I am interviewing a person, when somebody comes from my same place where I am interviewing somebody who comes from the same college, I always tend to add extra 10% weightage to that individual. The minute we start oh, you are from the same college. Wow, how's the college? How is doing? We start the conversation. By then, I already form an opinion. So what we do in this is when we source people, when we see the panel there is a mutual, then we try not to give the candidate to the respective panel. We try to identify a different panel. That's a practice what we do. We ensure that if I refer somebody, I will ensure the consent manager who is referred is nowhere in the panel member. There's a neutral panel have to interview. These are some of the practices which we definitely add from a recruitment perspective. And in addition to the other panelists who said from a diversity 3, we also have returnees. We also hire veterans from the Army, veterans from the Navy, and things. We ensure that X percentage of people. We have.
That's a part of your CSR activity?
Yes, absolutely. It's part of the CSR. We don't name it as the CSR, but we include this part of the DNI. So we ensure 5% of the overall hire comes from the veterans. So we identify roles. In recent past, we have hired people from an Army background who's retired and certified Scrum Master. So we have hired the individual into the Scrum team, part of the technology organization. And there are a lot of people, especially into the administration, facilities, security. Those are the roles default block for veteran hiring. So we also hired returnees, people who, mothers who have taken a break and would like to return back to work. So we do encourage people to come back. So yeah, overall D&I is one of the major agenda. Being a D&I council member, I take pride being of that. And ensure, of course, we also have targets. We ensure we are meeting our targets. But in parallel, we ensure the best of the hires coming into the fore.
I think that is very logical. That is another dimension that not to think about only from the gender or LGBTQ perspective. Thinking of because India is we call India as an Vincent Smith had called India as an ethnological museum. So the ethnicity, the diversity, unity in diversity, that takes a real kind of sense when you have people from different regions, from different cultures, from different language. Absolutely. I think that's more.
There's a direct influence on that, right? If a person comes, I am from Hyderabad, somebody default comes from Hyderabad, I always tend to form a positive opinion. This cannot be a rejected candidate. So I form an opinion, I start my interview in a more positive fashion. It's a human behavior.
Stereotyping. That means this person has come from this part of the region, he has to be something like this.
Yeah, we form an opinion, positive influence.
Yeah. So Rishabh, entirely Indianized, totally, because I'm sure because the kind of work you are having in a customer facing role, I think not much option for getting a gender diversity. More of it has to be a kind of a male dominated workforce. So what is your look into it, or how you are trying to transform? Are you trying to transform? If so, how you are trying to transform?
See, as Sadhguru says, we human beings suffer two of our most critical qualities that we have. Qualities, I'm saying. Two best qualities that we have, we suffer it. Right? One is our extreme memory. Right? We have still not come, as Ridhiman rightly said, it is a perception, imagination. Manufacturing industry है, farmer related है, तो भाई male ही चाहिए, female कैसे जाएगी? There is a perception, our imagination. So where are we suffering from? Our memory and our imagination, right? Which are the two most powerful tools we have. We are still in the primitive age, probably. Can you imagine the primitive ages wherein we had different set of washrooms for people in those offices? उस ज़माने में भी transactions होते थे, trade होते थे, right? Can you imagine a washroom in your house? You make two washrooms. No, this for a male, this for a female. My mother cannot go into this washroom because this is my father and my washroom. Does that happen? That the problem is we are restricting our own selves by our own boundaries, self-created boundaries. He is a man. How do I know? Did I check it? No. But this is ये outlook है तो ये man है, ये outlook है तो ये woman है. Why? Why can't we just identify these people as simple human beings? We all are human beings. So treat people like a human being. Like you don't need to be gender identified everywhere. It is required only twice, right? In two characters. One in washroom, one you can understand. So why do we keep hanging over on the same aspect? ये लड़का है, ये लड़की से दोस्ती नहीं करना है. घर वाले बचपन में सिखाते थे. ये लड़की ऐसे दोस्ती ज्यादा बातें नहीं करनी है. लड़की को बोले भाई आप लड़कों से ज्यादा बात मत कर रहे. Why this kind of a teaching? This is the problem of our own society. And the more educated we are getting into, the more trouble we are creating. Because we are identifying ourselves by our knowledge. ये knowledge बोलता है भाई ये चीज ऐसे ही होता है. This is the problem of this society. We are still in that primitive age. Probably those days were far better. People were far better. Because they never identified people with gender. जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी थी. आज उस चीज की ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ती है. Because we are more educated, more sophisticated, more intellectually capable. Right? This is the problem. So why can't we relate? Why can't we have women also equally participating in every business? Why can't we think that? Why recruitment? Why is a gender required कि हाँ भैया manufacturing है तो सिर्फ women? Why can't we give? Why don't we think of a situation where we give equal opportunities and equal kind of environment, safe environment? Why do we perceive कि ये इंसानी आदमी कर सकता है या a man can do it, a woman cannot do it, a woman can do it, a man cannot do it? Why do we think like that? This is our thought process which is a problem. First, we have to change our own selves. Then everything, I think, we will not need separate washrooms also. because people will not think differently. We will all live as a human being. That is more important, I believe.
Yeah, actually, I'll tell you, there in some of our recruiters, when they select male students and female students, right, in a sales role, right? So लड़के आके हमें बोलते हैं कि सर लड़कियों को तो इनको सर मेट्रो देंगे, मुझे तो सर गाँव में भेजेंगे. ये होने वाला है.
I still remember my business heads used to tell, Rishabh, please, लड़की मत लेना. ये भाग नहीं सकती है, मार्केट में नहीं जा सकती. Why? Why not? If it is gender diversity, how many of you are from Northeast? In Northeast, men, please don't take me otherwise. In Northeast, most of the jobs are done by women there. It is good that men have started moving in this side and have started working. But ideally, women work there. It is a truth. Ask your friends, especially Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, all these places. Women are the kind of bread earner.
Next, patriarchal society impact.
To center in Shillong about 1.5 years back, and we have close to 60% of the population being women. So that's a huge example and a huge inspiration for us. And the other thing, very quickly, I just want to say as a message to all of you, which is to your point, that, you know, each one of us has to be a proponent of inclusion. And whenever we have such forums, I'm very happy to see that many a times 55-60% of the audience is men, because our theme is involving men in the conversation, because it has to be a journey that all of us drive together. It can't be women trying to push women, nor can it be only men. It has to be all of us in it together to drive that forward. And for women, I want to say that, you know, historically, data universally shows that at a certain stage, which is maternity, marriage and maternity, women tend to drop off their careers. And that is something which is a suggestion I would give to all women here. Please, you are investing in yourselves through the program that you're doing here at PIBM or all the education that you have had so far. Please make sure that you utilize it to build a good, strong career for yourself. Do not allow, even when you get married, even when you have children, many times I see women suffering from guilt that, oh, I'm not giving enough time to my child, and that's why I have to give up my job. I think that's not right. And having brought up two boys who are in their 20s now, I feel that it's a good thing that I have done, because I hope somewhere it'll help to break a stereotype that women should sacrifice their lives for the sake of their children.
They should only take career breaks.
Yeah.
Now you don't have an option. You have paternity leaves in your organization? 2 weeks. Okay, great. Okay, fine. Finally, coming to, I think that the last one was on a serious note, but it was a very, very critical discussion. I believe a lot of messages gone to our audience. And coming to the last pointer, when we are once again talking of the reskilling part. So I would request you that if you can say some of the annals of reskilling in your organization, plus you would also contribute to the audience in telling them what are the most critical skills they should acquire. Because this audience, I believe, is a different set of audience which we had in the first panel. So if you can just tell what are the critical skills they should hone and they should acquire to sustain in the days to come. Right.
We'll try and fast track, because I think, like us, most of you are getting late. I work for a technology company which builds HR products, and I can say proudly that whatever time I have been with the organization, 17 years, we have not fired a single person in the company. Reason is we reskill them. We call it as a redeployment program. 38% of our hires are internal hires. That means we have a skill portal where you can put your skills, certifications that you have done. And if you're not wanting to move permanently to a different job or pick up a different business unit, you can take stretch assignments. You can say, I want to contribute 30% of my time, 40% of my time to this. And of course, I will continue to do my other job that I have, a day job. So these are the things that we have been doing at ADP. For all of you, I think I keep harping the same point. And Raman sir, you mentioned it very right. All the skills that are trending in 8 countries, right? These skills will come and go. Today, what you saw, it's there. 5 years, complete shift, or maybe 3 years. We never know. I mean, AI, I don't know what it will bring. One thing that I would say is have a right attitude. Have a learning attitude. Whatever be it, whatever condition that you are put into, say, I will make it work. Bring it on. That's the attitude you need to have. That's what I would say.
I think, Deepa, you just took away my words, because that's exactly what I was going to say, that it is not about what skills, because there will be a whole array of skills that you can pick and choose from in every organization that you go to. You have to have the attitude for continuous learning and the agility of learning, and focus to complete. Don't be impatient. Don't think that, oh, this is going to take so much time. I don't have the time for it. You'll have to invest that time in yourself. And it's an investment that you're doing for your career. But speed of learning, agility, flexibility to adapt changing trends is what is the most.
So it's been last 1 year in all the forums, reskilling and upskilling is being discussed, because we all are aware that the market scenario is changing. So most of the organizations are investing in reskilling and upskilling their employees for the future roles, or the opportunities which are going to come up in the organization. So I'll not talk much about it. Something which I want to talk, it's a message for all of you. Earlier we were talking about the mental well-being, physical well-being, and all. At the same time, there are 2 things. Please keep in mind. Whatever you are doing, nowadays we all have habit of, we play a lot of online games and all, and we get those instant stars and certificates and whatever, all those stuff. Life is not that simple, and life is not that easy. At times, when you will get into the corporate world, you will do a fantastic job. However, there won't be anybody to say that you have done a good job, or you have done this job. You may not get the credit of what you have done, what you have contributed. Be ready for it. That's a learning experience for you, which is going to help you to build your career, build your future. Be strong. You will have to be mentally strong to the changes in the organization or whatever is coming to you. We have been hearing a lot of instances. Some time back, the data was shared that 8 standard to 12 standard kids, they are committing suicides and all. Just 2 months back, my friend's society, we had an incident that 11-year-old kid was having a conversation with the mom, and he just jumped out of the window, and that was 23rd floor. What that mom is supposed to do? He was the only child, father was abroad. The entire blame is on the mother. You can't be so, fragile. You can't be. The world is not that good to you. It's not going to be good to you. You can't be that fragile. So, few things, please practice. The first thing you all should practice is gratitude. Practice gratitude. None of us are aware that whether we are going to see tomorrow's day. And if we are able to see that day, we should be thankful to the universe that we have got one more opportunity, one more day to prove ourselves. So please practice gratitude. Practice meditation, yoga, exercise, whatever gives you that comfort to build your physical and mental strength, so that you are prepared to handle any kind of pressure and any kind of humiliation or any kind of, whatever the situation you are facing. The second important thing is learning agility. At any given point of time, please do not think or say that, I have done this certification and I know it all. Or I have, I know better than you. Please. Every interaction is a learning interaction. Keep your learning hat always on. That's something which is the message which I want to give it to you, because that will help you as a reskilling and it will always prepare you to accept the challenges in the corporate world. Thank you.
Thanks, Nishi. I think very well drafted. I think most of them are already covered. So just want to let a couple of pointers to be covered from my end. It's quite important that there's a learning happens through different format. Might be through colleges, might be through online, might be through at home with parents and all. But it's quite important thing that please make good friends. Please make friends. Start interacting with people. Okay, whoever it is, when you talk to somebody, a known person, unknown person, just ensure that what are the two things you learn from that discussion. Ensure you go back and draft it. Okay, these are the two things. If you don't know, a lot of times we hear it plenty of things, but we don't ask people. We shy away. Okay, what if I ask somebody what is this? I don't know how it takes. Don't worry. Don't look at the other side of it. If you don't know, please go back and Google it. Ask the individual what is this, because it's quite important to learn. Every single thing is important. Please start learning. Please talk to people. Please network as much as you can. That's most important. Those days, good old days when I was grown up, we did not have this much of opportunity networking with people and exploring the world. It's very important to network. I think I give an opportunity. Today I have 14,000 followers on LinkedIn, but at the minute I feel proud that I have 14,000. But the next minute I go to someone, they have 50,000. That means I'm still not networking with 35,000 more people. So I think go back to your LinkedIn and start interacting with people, make more friends. And bigger thing is what we do is, I don't know, during my days in schools, we used to have ranking system. Okay, I used to be 10th rank, somebody used to be 15th rank, somebody used to be first rank. Good thing the education system has changed. There is no more ranking system. It is become a grade system. What I meant is, this doesn't take the competition away from you. Don't ever think that you're competent. Always have a healthy competition with the person sitting next to you. Okay, if the individual has done something, yes, good, clap for him and encourage him and appreciate him. But it's quite important thing why you have not done that. Have you ever thought that why am I not able to do, the person sitting next to me is able to do? That's what we call as a healthy competition. Competition is a fairly old term. Now, healthy competition is you have to compete with every single individual. It can be a parents, it can be a siblings, it can be a students, it can be a professors also. If a professor can teach you something, why can't you go back and learn and have an advanced learning out of it and start telling your professor, hey, I have learned something new. Yesterday you taught me, but I learned something new. This is what I learned. Please start working with your professors and tell them that this is something. I think that's the last one saying for me is please never ever stop learning. Learning is quite important.
How many of you know Mahendra Singh Dhoni and believe he is the best, number one? कुछ लोगों को नहीं लगता है. कुछ लोग सोच रहे हैं कि अच्छा है कि नहीं है यार. 50-50. Go 10 years back. Who was the number one? Sachin Tendulkar, right? Or Saurav Ganguly, whosoever. Do you think 10 years down the line, Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be any relevant? So competition has no meaning for me. Live joyfully. Never work hard. Please. Never ever work hard. रजा मजदूरी नहीं करने का. जिसमें दिल करता है खुशी मिलती है करो, बट ऐसा नहीं कि दूसरे को तकलीफ देके. Live happily, let others live happily. That is the only thing that will take you to somewhere. Otherwise, आप competition में आप frustrate होते रह जाओगे. नंबर वन का कोई मीनिंग नहीं होता. आज नंबर वन है, कल को कोई और नंबर वन होगा. Is, for example, we all travel on roads. I have a Tata Harrier. Imagine an Alto overtaking me, and I feel, अरे Alto वाले ने आगे ले लिया Harrier को. How is it possible? I don't even know कि वो बंदा कितना है. So what competition? Especially in Delhi, anybody from North India especially, right? I have been in Chandigarh for 4.5 years, Delhi, Gurgaon 1.5 years. Anybody overtakes, even my colleague, she has joined recently, she was sharing कि a girl started abusing just because I overtook her. And she was driving an SUV. हमने कहा बढ़िया है यार, ये नॉर्थ में देखने को ज्यादा मिलता है. So it makes no difference in your life if you start competing with others. If you have to compete, please compete with your own self. Your own self, what you are yesterday, please be a better human being at least tomorrow and day after and day after. That will make a world a better place. Otherwise, this competition will only lead to someday, trust me, there'll be no internet. Because the competitors are trying to pull down the satellite. There are only 4 countries on this earth at this stage who have the technology to bring down the satellite. And others are trying. So someday, if North Korea has that technology, what will happen? You can understand. Right? This mobile will be of no use. चाहे आप Apple रखो या Nokia रखो या कोई भी रख लो, सारे एक बराबर हो जाएंगे. If that satellite system is not there, so what competition? Compete with yourself to be a good person, a learned person, a better person of what you were yesterday. That will make a world a better place. Thank you.
And, I think the panelists have been simply brilliant, starting from Deepa, Sushmita, Nishigandha, Deepak, and Bishop. Wonderfully explained, wonderfully infused thoughts. I'm sure you will get back with a lot of thoughts. Then I will open this forum for the question and answers. I would request the volunteers to please come up and please share the mic with those who are intended to put across the questions.
Good evening, sirs and ma'ams. So, my name is Srija Munshi, and as we are speaking of wellness today, so
I think you have been a wonderful audience till now. Please conclude.
Let others speak also. ये भी सही होता है.
So, as we are speaking of wellness today, so I wanted to know, suppose if there's a performer, an employee in an organization who has been a good performer for a long time, but suddenly, all of a sudden, there's a downfall in the performance. So, how does the HR identify the problem and tackle those situations?
So, some time has faced these kinds of employees or the others. So
this is a very common situation, I must say, that a top performer is suddenly the performance has dipped. Definitely the first level of conversation happens with the manager, because the manager is the one who is able to identify that there is a challenge, there is a, in the organizations where I have worked, so we always had a counselor. Right. So this was always highlighted to the HR, and HR ensured that, the counselor is assigned to the person, because there are multiple counselors which were, onboarded. And, the person is having a heart-to-heart conversation with the counselor, opening up with the challenges. The counselor then do not share the actual, because of the confidentiality, which we have, that we don't share. But then the counselor shares the feedback that what kind of support the person needs. And then HR, somebody from the HR team, again, there are only assigned people. Not each and every HR person is equipped to have those kind of conversations. So we have that conversation with that individual, and we ensure that the help is arranged. At times it happens that the manager has changed, that there is a discomfort with the manager, there is a work-life balance challenge, person has recently married or planning to have a family, or there could be the personal challenges which are impacting. Whatever support can be extended, that is extended to the employer.
I just want to, there is a saying you must have heard of, that be kind to everyone you meet, because each person has a story that you don't know. Just keep that in mind. So I think that's the focus when somebody is not doing well. You have to really figure out, like she said, what is going on.
See, let's be very practical, right? This is a very common problem. We all go through it, right? The world faces it. I'll relate with an example wherein you can easily understand. For example, Virat Kohli was removed as a captain some time back. He was a top performer. Why was he removed? Right? See, when you are born with politics. Politics happens in the family. Politics happens in your institution, in organizations, in any organizations. Every place is an organization, right? And we are human. We have We have our insecurities and all these things, likings, dislikings, equations change. But only thing that is very important is you have to always get up. Even if you fall, get up. Because if you have within yourself, for example, I'll share ABCL, if I say, many of you will not know. Now, if I say Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited, how many of you know? Still very less. Yes. Because few years back, when Amitabh Bachchan's movies were not working, right? Like a recent ad, Lal Singh Chaddha to Chalini, I only him, make big hits. Amir Khan says, and then Bumrah says, Lal Singh Chaddha ka kya hua? Right? So Amitabh Bachchan also failed in his career. Then what happened is he went back to the small screen. Any of you or any of us, it would have been extremely impossible, probably. From a big star, superstar, to a TV screen, and then Amitabh Bachchan today is again Amitabh Bachchan. So if you have it within you, whatever circumstances be, you will get back. If you have, only thing is you have to have patience, which unfortunately your generation's extremely is lacking. This is what is most important. Have patience. Time will be yours. Keep on, hang on.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Rishikesh Poddar, and I am a student of MBA HR. I want to ask a question to Sushmita ma'am that how can a HR promote a healthy work-life balance for employees who are working in hybrid model? Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a very relevant question in our world today because hybrid is kind of here to stay. We have transitioned after COVID into that, and we're all working in some percentage of hybrid. I think what we have done is because reality in a hybrid situation is your family is all around you. In our case, we have a lot of people in the front line, in one room, two room houses, and they're trying to do their work, but there's a mother, there's a wife, there's children all around them. So what we have done is, I mentioned earlier that we have 10 passion clubs. We have involved the membership has now extended to the employees' parents, the employees' children. And so we have art competitions where grandparents, grandchildren, and the employees are all participating together. So we're trying to make engagement very personal, take it to their homes. During COVID times, like we have a lot of platforms under our Celebrating You brand, which used to be in office. But during COVID times, what we did was we actually went to the people's homes and gave away the awards in front of the family members. So we try to personalize things like that to make them feel the culture, to make them feel that they belong, to make them feel included, and not that they're sitting in some isolated place where people have forgotten about them. Yeah. So those are small touches to, I think Deepak was speaking about that video of experience, right? We brought in two pillars, one called experience and one called connect, which are completely dedicated to creating that extra engagement with the employee, especially those who are working from home.
Yeah.
Very good evening, all. My name is Aishwarya, and after discussing like what are the problems HR is facing right now, I would like to ask how can leaders or managers adopt their leadership styles to promote more human-centered approach towards work.
Always have to understand that they were also a follower one day, right? So they were also human beings. Somebody mentored them, so they are there where they are, right? So similarly, they have to mentor or they have to take care of the people who are in their charge as human beings, as their own part, right? So that they can see if the leader becomes, for example, if I become insecure, that tomorrow if my team member takes my chair, what will happen to my job? I'll move up, probably I'll be the CEO. That kind of an inclusive or thought process has to be there in every individual. If everybody starts to become insecure, people will never grow, and organizations will never grow. So probably there has been great leaders in great organizations. That is why they are great. And they have got great people in their team and they have encouraged. And probably that is why we all are sitting here, right? Because somebody mentored us. And that is why, because of the blessings and teachings, we are able to deliver what in front of you. So tomorrow it will be your time. Today it is your time. Tomorrow, of course, it will be your place here.
I think adding to your opinion, Rishabh, I think a leader is being also being seen the kind of promise he gives back to his succession.
Absolutely. So you are a good leader, but how many good leaders you are creating? That's more important. And that's where that human angle will actually come into the picture.
And it's a huge responsibility. It's never a privilege. This position is never a privilege. It takes a lot from us. Trust me, it takes a lot from us, our family, our personal lives, our sacrifices. We have to sacrifice for our people. We have to think for our people. That is what is leadership. If you always think of our own selves, that means we are leadership to chodo kahi nahi hai hum. Right? That is how it is.
My bosses once told me that I will be successful the day you make my job redundant. And I think that's a very big-hearted thought, difficult to imbibe, but that's the responsibility that all of us leaders have. And the other thing I want to say is that in hybrid times, actually all of us have had to learn how to manage remotely, how to lead remotely. It is not the same as leading and managing in a physical environment.
Sorry, a very different way to look at it. We're talking about corporate leadership. All of you, maybe some of you are leading one or the other initiative yourself in this college, right? So what have been your learning? It's probably the same that we have, maybe at a larger scale. That's what I would say.
Someone was asking from this side.
So I think we have been taking questions. I think probably we will have a couple of questions for the audience too. Is it fair to ask a question?
Yeah, sure. You want to ask a question? Go ahead.
Yeah,
He needs to ask them.
So I think it's quite important that we all have spoke about leadership, managerial styles, recruitment, HR, so much of subject we've been talking for last close to around 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. It's quite important. What is quite important for all of you at this juncture, right? So now keeping in mind almost 6 o'clock, we really don't want to take your time, but it's quite important the last 4, 5 sentences which we want to add. What is that one thing you want to hear from us? I know questions asked on leadership thing, but I would like anybody can pick, stand up and probably respond to me. What is that you want to become in your life? Anyone can stand up and give a response. What do you want to be in your life?
You did not pick up any panelists, but we can pick you up. It's okay. You are there.
Stand here.
Sorry, repeat again.
Sir, I want to be a good human being first of all because I am almost 25, 26. I realize that this is a very cruel world to sustain and we need to show a kind towards human being or towards the society. So at first you need to be a very, very good human being and then you can sustain your professional life as well as. So,
thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Can ask a question because as if you have any specific questions, we would love to take. But in parallel, we thought we'll just make the other side.
And I can understand, right? It's very difficult to stand up and ask a question. So we would be around a few more minutes.
Absolutely.
If one-on-one you want to come and ask questions.
If someone has a question there.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mamu, and my question is: recently, I have read an article that is talks about that one company is called Dream11. We all know, and it says that they are introducing policy which is known as unplug policy. So this policy talks about they are fining 1 lakh rupees. Those who are the employees who reach out to their colleagues during their unplugged days. So I want to know that from you, all of you, that how much you think that fine is feasible to impose on HR policies.
It's a good thing. I think I'll go back and Google what is this unplugged policy first time. Thanks for making me know something for the rest of the day to learn. But I think imposing fine penalties is an organization policy, because some organization impose, some organization don't impose. So I can't say that is right, this is wrong. So it depends on what an organization, because in the good old days in 2002 when I started my job, we used to collect original documents from the candidates. Okay, till the time if you want to leave less than 2 years, there's a signed bond. That time that was right. But this time it's gone, no more agreement. So if the because without knowing the policy, without why this is imposed, I think it's not fair for us to make a comment whether it is right or wrong. But if it has been documented and defined as part of the organization policy, let's respect that.
So, what is your class timing here every day? What is your class timing? Excited?
7:30.
7:30. Are you there every day at 7:30?
Yes.
Imagine
Inside the class or outside the class?
Suppose sir imposes a fine of 10,000 rupees for every single late. How many of you will accept? It is absolutely fine. It's a policy. So policy is always a perception, right? For example, in Calcutta, if you drive without a helmet, it's a 2,000 rupees or something fine. Here in Pune, nobody wears a helmet. For example, the day she imposes a fine of drunken driving for 10,000 rupees, I'll be the first person who would be absolutely unhappy. Right? So if I go back to my earlier days, in Chandigarh, for example, while driving down from my office, police kabhi nahi pakadti thi. Plus, I had huge connections there, right? So those days. So casually Friday weekend, एक beer can लेके आराम से चले आए. But suppose police caught me and imposed a fine and a video also. Do you think I would have enjoyed that ever? But today I know it is absolutely wrong. So I will never do that. Irrespective whether there is a fine or there is not a fine. Correct? So policy is all about perception, how you take it. If it benefits you, absolutely fine. If it not benefits you, it takes kisne bana diya aisa policies. But it has to be something generic wherein it benefits all. Somebody has to follow it. So if there's a discipline, please follow it.
I just want to say that maybe, I don't know the policy you're referring to, but typically unplug is a day or an hour where you switch off your systems and you are not working, right? So the intent of that policy is probably that everyone should respect that person's personal time and not disturb that person. Because I've seen bosses, I've seen colleagues who throughout Saturday and Sunday are sending tons of email. And then if you are expected to respond to that, that creates huge pressure in your personal time. So probably that is the intent. Now, whether the fine is correct or not is, of course, a debatable issue.
I think we can have one last question. So after that, we'll go to conclude. Yes, I think.
Hello everyone, my name is Vanshika Patel. So as Mrs. Shushmita ma'am and Deepa ma'am have already mentioned about the diverse workforce. So I would like to ask that what employee branding can be done to create a more diverse and inclusive workforce?
So, some of the things we do, I can share. We go to, in a very focused manner, our recruitment team identifies women's colleges, women's campuses, and we go there and we do focused hiring from those campuses. We work with organizations like Great Place to Work, like the United Nations Women India platform, UN Women. on a lot of collaborative initiatives where companies come together. A few months back, we hosted them in our office. And a lot of companies like Capgemini, NatWest, HCL, and so on came, and we had dialogues on what is important, what are the challenges, how can leaders show commitment to diversity, and a lot of relevant topics on these, which then go out on social media and people become a little more aware. We have recently gone and participated in the United Nations headquarters on a UN Women Commission dialogue on what more can we do together as industry and as these industry platforms to take this whole agenda forward. So these are some things that we typically do. Plus, internally within our organizations, like I said, we are continuously reinforcing this message, these messages. We use our women leaders to participate in dialogues like these where they share their journey. We have leaders, and by the way, I want to say this to all of you out there, that we should not have stereotypes. She mentioned that this job is for women, this job is for men, and so on. We have women leaders in information systems, in finance, in quality, in legal, and of course, other functions like HR, L&D, OD, and so on. So through various such initiatives, through role models, through branding initiatives, through leadership messaging, we keep reinforcing.
Just to add on, I think I would say the tone towards Sushmita mentioned in terms of the programs or the initiative. But 5 years ago, when we were at about 25% of our diversity and we wanted to bring it to 40%, today we are at 42%. We started a very unique initiative from a branding standpoint, and you will be able to see it in YouTube also. I have a picture with my father, and it was everywhere saying, "My daughter enjoys coming to work every day. Does yours?" Similarly, there was a spouse picture, there was brother, there was a sister. So we brought in family members of women employees to say that this is a secure place, because our organization works 24/7. We wanted women to work in night shifts, but want them to feel secure at the organization. Some of the things that we've done on the branding side. Of course, the internal initiatives are ongoing. We have a long way to go, but these are baby steps. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we should have an applause for both the audience as well as the panelists. Let's have a big round of applause. Yeah.